If you're interested in films and TV series about romantic stories where an older woman and a younger man find each other, you've come to the right place. Be sure to subscribe to the channel to always discover new and exciting films and TV series. A Quick Alphabet of Love, 2022. Anna is an eccentric, somewhat world-weary actress, living by the rhythm of old habits and memories of her stage career. One day, she meets a young man named Adrian, insecure, lost, and in need of help. Anna decides to take him under her wing and begins giving him speech and behavior lessons. At first, their interactions resemble a game. She teases him, he tries to live up to her expectations. But over time, a genuine emotional connection develops between them. Strolls through the city, conversations about fears, dreams, and the past bring them ever closer. Anna sees in Adrian a chance to feel alive again, and he sees in her someone who truly believes in him for the first time. Their story is less about passion than about warmth, support, and the unexpected union of two lonely souls. Sunny Boy, 2011. The story begins in the early 20th century in the Netherlands. A young Dutch woman, Rieke, is a freedom-loving and courageous woman, unafraid to go against social opinion. She meets Waldemar, a black student from the colonies, and they develop a connection that is widely disapproved of. Their relationship becomes a challenge for the entire town. Neighbors, friends, and even relatives view them with disapproval. Over time, the couple has a son, whom they affectionately call Sunny Boy. The boy grows up in a home filled with love, but also constant tension. When World War II begins, their family finds itself in danger. The parents risk everything by helping persecuted people go into hiding. For Sunny, this becomes a painful but important lesson about courage, humanity, and the value of true feelings. The story shows how the love of an older, more experienced woman for a younger man becomes more than just a romance, but a true fortress in the face of a cruel world. Before the Dawn, 2019. Lila is a woman who has gone through a difficult period in her life. She moves to a small town to start anew and become a teacher. At first glance, her life seems calm and measured, but inside, she still struggles with past mistakes and a feeling of emptiness. At school, she meets a young student who is also going through a difficult time: family problems, lack of support, and a feeling of being unwanted. Lila begins to help him, initially as a mentor and teacher, but gradually a deep emotional connection develops between them. She sees in him a reflection of her own pain, and he sees in her the only person who understands him. The film shows the fine line between caring and feelings that can go beyond what is acceptable. It is a story about choice, responsibility, and the price that must be paid when the heart begins to speak louder than the mind.
What have we left out?
You're the next door guy, right?
Film stars don't die in Liverpool, 2017. Gloria is an elderly but still proud and vibrant actress, once a Hollywood star. She returns to Liverpool to spend time away from the spotlight and the noise of the big world. There, she meets Peter, a young actor and admirer of her work. They begin their acquaintance with a slight attraction and conversations about film, theater, and life. Peter admires Gloria not only as an actress, but also as a woman with a rich past and a strong character. A warm, tender connection develops between them, devoid of any pretense. When Gloria's health begins to deteriorate, Peter becomes her rock. He supports her in her most difficult moments, and she teaches him to see life more deeply than just dreams of fame. This is a story about love that comes unexpectedly and stays in the heart forever, even when time begins to turn against you.
I just want to go back to Liverpool. Say it again, Peter.
Empire of Light, 2022. Hilary works in an old cinema on the English coast. Her life is repetitive, filled with the silence of empty theaters and a struggle with inner demons. she feels lost and alone, as if the world is passing her by. One day, a young man named Stephen comes to work at the cinema, open, inquisitive, and full of hope. His outlook on life contrasts sharply with her weary perception. Gradually, a friendship develops between them, which blossoms into something more. Their relationship becomes a source of light for Hillary in her dark inner world, and for Stephen, the first serious experience of intimacy and understanding. But reality, social pressure, and personal problems prevent their connection from developing easily. This is a story about how love can be both salvation and a test when two people are at different stages of life.
All these people.
Lonely Planet, 2024. Catherine is a renowned writer struggling with writer's block and emotional exhaustion. To escape the pressure, she goes on a secluded retreat in Morocco. There, amid the sand, narrow streets, and evening lights, she meets a young man who is also searching for himself. Their conversations begin with simple topics: travel, dreams, and fears. But with each passing day, they open up to each other more deeply. Catherine sees in him a fresh perspective on the world, and he sees in her the wisdom and inner strength that inspire him. Their romance unfolds against the backdrop of exotic landscapes, but at the center remain feelings that change them both. This is a story about how sometimes you need to travel far and wide to find not only inspiration, but also the person who will make your heart beat faster again.
The Idea of You, 2024. Solange is a divorced woman trying to be a good mother and not forget about herself. She accompanies her daughter to a music festival and unexpectedly meets the young member of a popular band. A spark ignites between them, quickly developing into secret meetings, late-night conversations, and a strong emotional attachment. But their worlds are too different. He is a star surrounded by fans and attention, while she is a woman living a real, quiet life. Their story is a struggle between the desire to be happy and the fear of social judgment. The film shows how love can simultaneously be the most beautiful and the most difficult choice in life.
I like it. I'm too old for you.
Souvenir, 2019. Julie is a young film student searching for her style and her place in the world. She meets a more experienced and enigmatic man who seems to her the embodiment of maturity and depth. Their relationship becomes a lesson in love, pain, and self-discovery for Julie. She idealizes him, ignoring the warning signs, until she begins to understand that feelings can be not only inspiring, but also destructive. The film is a story about how youth collides with reality, and how a connection with someone more mature can leave a mark that shapes you for life.
Don't lie, Anthony.
If you don't want to know, then don't ask.
Silent Summer, 2013. In a small coastal town, a woman who has suffered a personal loss seeks peace. She leads a solitary life until she meets a young man who comes to town for the summer. Their relationship begins with simple walks, conversations by the sea, enchanting encounters. But over time, a deep emotional connection develops between them. She finds freshness and hope in him, and he finds in her the understanding and warmth he's been missing. This is a quiet, atmospheric story of summer love that can change you forever, even if it only lasts for a season. The Red Thread, 2025. The film is inspired by an ancient legend about an invisible thread of fate that binds people destined for each other. The protagonist, a woman who has experienced disappointment and a loss of faith and love, accidentally meets a young man whose life is also full of doubts and a search for meaning. Their encounters seem random, but with each passing moment, they increasingly realize that they are drawn to each other by something more than mere affection. They endure trials, distance, and inner fears to understand that sometimes fate gives a second chance when you least expect it. This is a story about hope, time, and how true connection knows no age or boundaries. That's all for today. If you enjoyed these stories about ageless love, be sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which films from this collection inspired you. And please share your favorite romantic films featuring unusual love. See you in the next video.